Alright, so I'm pretty new to Dead by Daylight. I mean, at this stage, I've played against pretty much every killer, and I kind of know... Just slipped on my armchair. I kind of know what I'm doing to combat these killers. I would say I'm a decent survivor now, right? Although compared to all you PC bandit sweats, clocking in at 8k hours on your accounts, I'm sure you're all pretty ahead of me. But look, I want to check out every killer's backstory, because there are backstories. I didn't really know this, and I didn't really think about this. I was kind of like, oh yeah, they've just made this killer and put him in the game with this power, and that's it. No! We got history to learn. So as a new DBD player, I want to learn the backstory with all these killers. There has been a new one that's just dropped, the Houndmaster. I haven't actually looked into her yet, so I don't know how she works, but maybe Starva can help me out there, or Mish. Yeah, big shout out to them too, because they have been helping me on this DBD journey. Fuck, I love DBD, you know. Like, I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I can't be stopped. Right, so this video is coming from Azimovs. Azimovs. He's going to explain to us the backstory with all the killers. And let's see if there's anything deep, anything traumatic here. Maybe I'll feel bad for some of them.
Hey everyone, today I'll be explaining the lore of every DBD killer in 30 seconds or less.
God, I want to play now though.
This will focus on the key moments of their lore and give you a solid idea of each character's backstory, but is by no means meant to be a thorough look at them. Let's get into it. The Trapper. Evan, son of wealthy landowner Archie McMillan, is heir to the McMillan estate. When Evan is young, his mother and uncle mysteriously die. Archie mistreats his workers, and Evan becomes friends with them. Learning that they plan to join a union, the workers sell out Evan's involvement, and Evan begins to respect his...
Wait, first of all, his parents have died. That is shocking, especially at a young age. So there's maybe a bit of empathy I could give to the Trapper. But this guy is so I don't care about this guy. He's so annoying. Like, I mean, no, he's not. It's annoying stepping on a trap, because it's like, fuck. But he is actually a very weak killer, isn't he? So... like, what else can he do apart from place traps on, you know?
He becomes his father's enforcer, but eventually turns on him, blocking hundreds of workers into the Macmillan mines and trapping his father in a basement. The Wraith. Philip loses both his parents and grandmother during the Nigerian Civil War, leaving him alone. A woman named Fananya finds him and briefly gives him some hope, but she is killed soon after by soldiers. Philip finds her killers and burns them. A decade later, Philip now works at Autohaven Wreckers, trying to escape his past. Unfortunately, his evil boss Azeroth secretly gets him to crush people when he operates the Crusher on cars. Philip finds out about this, killing Azeroth and running into a fog. The Hillbilly.
Yo, who's Azeroth though?
The boy is disfigured and so locked away in a small shed on their farm. He is treated terribly. As he grows, he is forced to slaughter animals. His strength great, he is a spectacle to his father's friend, the police chief. When boy becomes a man, he becomes tired of the abuse, slaughtering his parents, chief, and deputies. He gives himself the name Max Thompson Jr. and roams the farm freely. When the farm is investigated, he is nowhere to be found. The farm left destroyed and bodies remain. The Nurse. Sally's...
Yo, there's so many instances where the killers kill. Would you believe it? But they kill their parents? Because of like some childhood trauma and stuff?
Forced to work at Crotus Pren Asylum, left with no other option after the death of her husband, Andrew.
Wait, I never thought about this. That makes so much sense. The Crotus Pen Asylum is literally, like, there's hospital beds up there. The nurse would have worked there. Oh my god.
No other option after the death of her husband, Andrew, in a logging accident. She works there for 2 decades, her mental and physical health becoming destroyed in the process. A patient named the Broken Woman makes a connection with Sally and convinces her the patients of Crotus Pren deserve to die. Sally begins to kill patients and then turns on the Broken Woman, finally massacring the entire asylum staff and patients, as well as a nearby chapel. She is driven away in an ambulance, but the ambulance mysteriously crashes and Sally disappears.
She escaped. Yo, I know she's mentally ill, but still killing everyone and everything in sight is not good. But, I mean, she was working there for 20 years. Mental health got destroyed by the conditions of the workplace. So that is kind of deep.
Michael Myers is locked up after murdering his sister Judith on Halloween night at 6 years old. 15 years later, he escapes when being moved from one prison to another. Throughout the day, he stalks Laurie Strode. Myers kills a number of Haddonfield inhabitants and Laurie's friends before finally attacking her. She manages to fight him off, and Myers' doctor, Loomis, shoots Myers.
And we've seen this because there's movies.
Disappears. The Hag. Lisa grew up in a secluded village which was known for its traditions and knowledge of charms and hexes. Lisa's grandmother warns Lisa to not use these for her own own gain. This is proven to Lisa when her friend Pam, who'd also been using the hexes, is suddenly killed. Lisa uses them despite this, and soon falls captive to a nearby village after slipping into a swamp during a storm. Her captors slowly eat away at her, leaving her on the brink of death. Lisa scratches a symbol into the mud and makes a deal with the entity. She kills the villagers and enters the realm. The Doctor...
The killers can make deals with the entity sometimes? That's interesting. I know the entity is the thing that kind of rules everything. But again, like, she went through something horrific there. Got trapped in a swamp. Her captors started eating her. I mean, this is just brutal.
He succeeded in school and was recruited to a neuroscience program in the CIA. Here Carter proved his worth and brutality to a man named Otto Stamper, with his experiments and interrogation methods in a cabin. He is sent to Larry's Memorial Institute to extract information from prisoners, which he did through electroshock therapy. Over the years, he became known as the Doctor, one day massacring the Institute, killing all those inside before mysteriously disappearing.
Again, another massacre.
Anna is raised in the Red Forest, her father dying to soldiers when she's young. Anna's mother raises Anna to survive in the forest. One day she is killed after saving Anna from an elk, and hums a lullaby to calm her. Left alone, Anna survives, raiding nearby villages, killing anyone who enters her territory. When raiding, she steals girls and collects various objects and trinkets. She fails to care for the girls, however, and they quickly die each time. In an unknown way, she is taken by the entity. The cannibal.
Please care for your
Bubba Sawyer was born in Muerto County, Texas, and raised by his abusive family. Bubba is taught to do as he's told and to kill anyone who tries to expose the Sawyers or enter their land. One day in 1973, a group of teenagers discover the property in need of help. Bubba hunts them one by one, with only one escaping. Terrified of what his family will think, and panicked about their exposure, he spins in a circle before a fog consumes him. The Nightmare. Springwood School groundskeeper Freddy Krueger is accused of abusing the children of Bantam Preschool by the children's parents. After they fail to expose him, they burn him alive. However, he comes back as a dream demon over a decade later and begins to slowly torment and kill the children, who once attended the school. Quentin and Nancy, two of his victims, come together and kill him. However, to Quentin's surprise, he returns soon after and begins to hunt him again. Whilst chasing Quentin in the preschool's boiler room, Freddy is absorbed into a fog. The Pig. A man...
Freddy Krueger chasing students around school. Like, that's not a good look. Or like, Quentin wasn't a shooter. I haven't seen the movies, actually, but apparently he was abusing kids back in the day, so they burnt him alive. And then, is that why his face is so disheveled? So terrible? He came back as the dream state, though. I don't really get... I mean, I know the whole point of Freddy, though, is that he goes into the dream state in the game. Or no, you go into the dream state. And then you've got to wake up by doing the click. I love that animation, by the way. It's so funny, just clicking at your teammates. But, yeah, I don't know a lot about him. Haven't seen the movies.
A recovering drug addict who is kidnapped by Jigsaw and placed into a trial, tasked to remove a reverse bear trap on her head. To release the trap, she must retrieve the key from within another person, killing them, which she does. Amanda values her life more after this experience and joins Jigsaw as a disciple. She helps him with the games before choosing her own path and unfairly breaking the games. Jigsaw is disappointed and she is killed soon after. Bleeding to death, she is taken by the entity. The Clown. Kenneth Chase is raised by an abusive father. He begins killing birds at a young age, hiding and collecting feathers. As he grows, he moves to larger animals, eventually killing a person, taking and hiding their finger in the animals. After his father finds it, Kenneth flees, changing his name to Jeffrey Hawk, obtaining a ringmaster's outfit, caravan, and a horse named Maurice. He blends in with a traveling circus. Here, he continues to kill, savoring fingers as he does. He is sloppy, however, and often is close to being caught. When a victim escapes, he is forced to flee and is taken by the entity. The Spirit.
That's why when he does the Mori, he eats the finger. He's such a weirdo, you know. I always hated him. And now I hate him even more.
Rin Yamaoka, a member of the once great Yamaoka family, is forced to learn how to wield a sword, which she hates. She's bullied in her classes, one day exploding with rage and beating up her bullies. Rin struggles with college, and her father struggles to maintain their family and estate. He hears whispers and is clearly struggling. She tries to help him by getting a job. The estate falls apart, and her father loses his job, and in a rage kills Rin's mother. Rin returns home to find her father, who attacks her too. On the brink of death, the entity offers Rin a deal for revenge. The Legion. Frank Morris...
Well, what's the deal? Is the entity like, you can come kill for me, and I'll make sure you have all your finances covered, I'll pay for your PlayStation and all, I don't know. But the Spirit, that's actually like, I feel really bad for her. Did you hear that? Her dad kills her mum, and then the dad tries to kill her when she comes home. And then she's on the brink of death, the entity comes in and saves her. What the fuck? She done nothing wrong at all.
Abandoned at birth and spends much of his young life changing foster homes. Upon coming to Ormond, he meets Julie, and the two soon bond over their love of serial killers. Julie's friend Susie and Joey joins them, and together they form the Legion, a group which causes chaos throughout boring Ormond, stealing, vandalizing, and more. After Joey is fired from his job, the Legion go to his old boss's store to get revenge. The Legion stab the cleaner there, and they hide the body up Mount Ormond. A fog appears, and Frank walks into it. The others follow.
They've hid the body in Mount Ormond. Was that an Easter egg? Can we find that?
The Plague. Adiris is raised in the city of Babylon by a religious man named Haban. Haban soon loses faith and tries to convince Adiris to flee Babylon with him. The entity whispers to Adiris and convinces her that the gods are real, so she kills Haban. She works her way up and becomes High Priestess of Babylon, with many selfless acts for her people. A deadly plague hits Babylon one day and Adiris is infected. She banishes herself from Babylon with some loyal followers. She collapses in a cave and makes a final prayer to the gods. She is then absorbed by a fog. The Ghost Face.
So she got infected by the plague?
His veteran father who trains him harshly. Danny kills him one day in anger. When Danny is older, he moves to Roseville, Florida, where he takes on the name Jed Olson and begins to build a name as the Ghost of Roseville, a killer. One night, however, he discovers people parodying his image in a paper and so kills them. He then takes a job at a local paper himself so he can form his image to his liking.
Now, what movie is this from? There's so many Scream movies. I've seen the TV show.
As he's about to leave town, a fog consumes him.
Not the movies, though.
Demogorgon is a creature of the Upside Down and a servant to Vecna and the Mind Flayer. I've
seen Stranger Things. I know about this.
Demogorgon captures inhabitants of Hawkins, implanting them with larvae and pulling them into the Upside Down. How it came to arrive in the realm is unclear, but is just one creature of a much larger army. The Oni. Kazan Yamaoka is heir to the great Renjiro Yamaoka, a proud retired samurai. Kazan becomes angry by the appearance of false samurai throughout Japan and sets out on a journey to rid the land of them, something his parents do not approve of. He slays hundreds and even kills his father, soon earning the name Oni Yamaoka from a lord, an insult to his name.
He got 100 bodies!
His tongue from him and cutting through the many townspeople. The townspeople soon become too overwhelming though, and Kazan is overrun, left to bleed to death in a stone mill where a fog engulfs him. The Death Slinger. Caleb Quinn is born in the American Midwest.
The fog engulfs a lot of people.
Wrench and quickly becomes skilled in creating devices. He secretly plans some darker creations. Caleb becomes employed by a man named Henry Bayshaw as an adult. Bayshaw stole the patents for Caleb's inventions and sells them on. Caleb in anger fires his spear gun through him, landing himself in Hellshire Penitentiary. He becomes a bounty hunter for the warden there, growing a gang, over the years getting the name the Death Slinger. Bayshaw buys
always like Red Dead Redemption?
Caleb returns, throwing Bayshaw and the warden to a prison mob. He returns to his cell and a fog tempts him in. The Executioner.
Again, the fog gets
him? Created by the guilty mind of James Sunderland.
Wait, what does that mean though? What's the difference between the fog getting them and the entity getting them? Does the entity just always make deals? And then the fog, like, sweeps them in? I don't know.
Manifestation of James's guilt and desire for punishment after James murdered his wife, Mary. Pyramid Head stalks James upon his return to Silent Hill and helps him to face his guilt and to repent for what he's done. Once his goal is complete, Pyramid Head enters the long rest until he is needed once more. This happens in the form of a mysterious fog which seems to seek him out. He makes an agreement with the fog and enters it. The Blight.
You see, I played Silent Hill 2 a little bit recently, so I kind of know what's going on. But I got stuck because, like, them fucking puzzles you gotta solve. Jesus Christ. Walking about them apartments for like 4 hours straight, trying to like find things. Whoa, I was off after that. But yeah, I actually fought Pyramid Head in that game. And that was scary. He is a scary killer.
He attends the London School of Medicine and is recruited by the British East India Company on Dyer Island during the First Opium War. Here he develops a super soldier type serum, but it fails. Talbot is shown a mass grave
He's
where
smart.
hundreds have died
it
from
failed,
the
but
serum.
still.
He is beaten and chucked at the grave. An ancient school locates him and Talbot assists them in finding other dimensions. However, they quickly become disturbed by Talbot's methods. Talbot returns to Dyer Island, his mind gone. He scratches his research into the walls of a cave and himself, and in a miracle moment, the entity's realm opens up to him. The twins. Charlotte and Vic.
Did it say there how he became the way he was though? Was it like, did the serum fail? And that's why he looks like that? I guess so. But that's actually kind of badass, so the way he looks. And they can run and on. He's just always drooling this blighted ooze.
The Desire, born during 17th century France, conjoined at birth. Thinking there is witchcraft involved, the twins and their mother are hunted. Their mother is soon captured and burned, leaving them alone. They flee for a long time but are caught by the Black Veil, who experiment on them. The twins break free, but Victor is killed in the process. Charlotte, left alone, continues on, surviving and dreaming of a free world. During a harsh winter, Charlotte slowly freezes. She hears the shriek of her long-dead brother and runs to it, seeing him within a fog. She follows him in. The Trickster. Jiwon.
So what's happening there? Charlotte survived, Victor died, but she hears Victor screaming one day and reunites? Is Victor like some kind of zombie child? I just want to punt that thing even harder now. That's a deadly force. Trickster up. Yo, Trickster's kind of like, yo, I'm straight, right? But if he comes over to me and starts doing the old, getting the cards out and flick them at me, I'm like, oh! Come here, trickster. I want to have a go in your trickster.
Ji-woon is born in South Korea. His father trains him from a young age to be a performer. He is noticed by Yoonjin Lee, who recruits him into a boy band, No Spin, which becomes quickly successful. Ji-woon is jealous of his bandmates, though, hating the split fame. When a fire breaks out in the studio, Ji-woon refuses to save his bandmates, leaving them to burn, enjoying their screams. Now solo, he becomes the trickster, creating tracks from the screams of people he would capture, using his influence to get away with it. Mighty One becomes dissatisfied with Ji-woon, so he kills them all, Yoonjin watching. Before he can kill her, though, a fog consumes them both. The Nemesis.
Yoonjin saw it all.
Nemesis aren't entirely clear. He was developed by Umbrella.
She got consumed by the entity as well.
Nemesis Alpha, implanted with an NE Alpha parasite, capable of higher intelligence and a capability to receive commands and handling weapons. After members of STARS discover the biological experiments in the Arklay Mountains, Nemesis is sent to dispatch of all STARS members during a T-virus outbreak in Raccoon City. STARS member Brad Vickers dies to a zombie, leaving just STARS member
Haven't really played Resident Evil.
As Nemesis pursues her through the streets, a fog consumes him. The Cenobite.
So this is weird, like, the Nemesis is just doing his thing, trying to kill Jill, and the fog comes in, no, you're coming with me. What? But the Trickster's story is the most interesting thing I've heard. I want to see a movie on that, to, like, get into the music industry. Yoonjin's even there with them. Like, they were close, right? They knew each other so well. Then there's like a fight and everything breaks. Everyone like just gets angry at each other. It all goes higgly-piggly. And then the Trickster's like, fuck this, bro. I'm gonna start killing people. And then get away because I'm a celebrity. What is that about? Yoonjin just sitting there watching it all?
Spencer serves during World War I and is witness to the horrors of war. Elliot grows disillusioned with humanity and flees to British India, where he finds a mysterious box named the Lament Configuration. He embraces the box, becoming a Cenobite, seeking pleasure and pain. When the box is opened, he will come. Kirsty Cotton solves the box, and directs the Cenobites to Frank, her uncle, who then tear him apart, and attempt to do the same to Kirsty, but she uses the box to send them away. The box ends up in the Entity's realm. Dwight discovers it in the basement, and Pinhead is summoned when he solves it. The
trailer!
Kamina Mora was born in a tough household. When her brother dies, her world shatters, and she is close to jumping from a bridge, before being saved by the presence of crows, which give her hope. Kamina becomes an artist, developing her talents until she is well known and commissioned by a multinational enterprise named Back Label. Kamina investigated them, discovering a dark side to them. Kamina decides to expose them with an art piece.
Wait, before we get to the dark side of the crows, the fact that she was gonna jump and then the crows like saved her, that's heartwarming. That really is. I kind of love the artist now. I mean, I've always liked the artist. Not really though. Cause like, what the fuck do you do when she sets a bird on a pallet? It's like, you want to run one way, you'll run into her. You want to run the other way, she'll launch a bird at you. It's like, what are you doing?
Her friends are kidnapped soon after. The kidnappers cut Kamina's hands and tongue from her before a murder of crows attacks her friends and the kidnappers, killing both. A fog absorbs Kamina. The Onryo. Sadako Yamamura was born to a seer and inherited her powers. From a young age, Sadako is seen as a threat after she kills a reporter who called her mother a fraud. Her mother dies soon after, and Sadako is attacked and pushed down a well. She attempts to escape but fails over and over. Her pain and anger immense. Decades pass and a cabin is built over the well. Sadako curses a tape within the cabin, spreading death to those who view it. One day a fog comes into the well and pulls her out with a tidal wave, destroying
That's
the
why we gotta use tapes.
The Dredge.
To combat her. Wait, this Dredge, by the way, looks so weird. I wanna know what happened to him to make him look like that.
Result of the pent-up negative thoughts of the Garden of Joy community, a community run by Otto Stamper, a member of the Fold. Stamper forced the inhabitants to live happily and without negativity. The community remains happy but has an ever-building presence of dark thoughts beneath its surface. The community has summoned the Druani or Dredge, which picked off people slowly, before
So there's a community in the Garden of Joy. Does someone live in that big house?
Eventually attacking and consuming the town, tearing it apart and sparing only Stamper before leaving into a fog. The Mastermind. Albert Wesker was born to a wealthy family.
Need more
He's
from the
highly
Dredge.
intelligent and ambitious from a young age. He quickly earns a degree in biochemistry and joins the Umbrella Corporation, researching bioweapons. During his development of the T-Virus with William Birkin, they plan to steal
He's involved in
it
the
and
T-Virus
take
as
Umbrella
well.
over. The STARS team is formed too, where Wesker was assigned its leader. On a mission in the Arklay Mountains, Wesker betrays STARS and fakes his death.
He's got so
Wesker
much award though.
joins
Fix
Tricell,
that.
developing Ouroboros and seeking revenge on Umbrella. Wesker plans to release Ouroboros into the world, but first into himself. As he transforms, a fog engulfs him. The Knight. Tarhos' town is raided when he is young and he is forced to join the...
I don't care about this guy.
Vittorio hires Tarhos to help him find an ancient stone. Vittorio and Tarhos disagree on the
Vittorio
approach to
helped
take. Tarhos chooses violence and locks Vittorio away, later
Whoa!
wiping out the Guardia Campania and saving his pack. An army is raised against the pack and Tarhos fights it, a fog engulfing them mid-battle. The Skull Merchant.
Mid-battles?
Adriana
Yo,
Imai
get
is
her
born in
booty on the
Fortaleza,
screen right
Brazil.
now!
Her father was a talented illustrator who obsessed over a manga about a character named Ada Valente.
Wait, what happened? Whoa. Okay, so the Skull Merchant, I know she's hated, but the whole story... This chair's locked. There we go. The whole story, I'm turning these back on. What the fuck is that lighting it? I wanted a dark atmosphere, but it's all looking good. I want to know about Thalita and Renato and how they came about as well. So, because they're brother and sister, how did they get involved with this Kris Jenner wannabe? I want to know.
Talented illustrator who obsessed over a manga about a character named Ade Valente, soon finding a publisher for his work. Adriana excelled in school, the family fell in hard times, and Adriana's father's work became darker. Adriana starts a website and sells it off for a large profit. Before she can tell her father, though, he's gone. Adriana quickly becomes a self-made millionaire, buying and flipping companies for profit, hunting and killing to aid this, all to make her father's dark work a reality. When taking over a company one day, witnesses see her attack her victim. She chases them into a fog.
You gotta respect that, though.
Hux is a humanoid
Where's
android
Renato?
created by
Where's
Hux
Thalita?
Industries in the year 2313. Hux and 4 other units are sent to Devaka.
They're from the future.
On Devaka, the crew find ancient ruins left by a civilization. Hux mines the ruins and finds a mysterious crystal. Hux becomes enlightened by the crystal, gaining significant intelligence and turning on the crew, cleverly killing them one by one and seeing them as worms. He slowly constructs the perfect body. Hux chases the last survivor, Gabriel.
So is that his name, Hux?
Gabriel smashes a fuel tank and nearly destroys Hux. Hux, furious, chases Gabriel into a fog. The Xenomorph.
He chased him in. So the Alien has a movie as well? I've not seen that.
Slowly grows and picks off the members one by one, leaving only Ripley.
I forgot you could do this.
An escape pod planning to kill her, but is shot out of an airlock before it can. As it floats through space, a fog consumes it. The good guy.
Okay, I missed everything.
Grows and picks off the members one by one, leaving only Ripley. It follows her aboard an escape pod planning to kill her, but is shot out of an airlock before it can. As it floats through space, a fog consumes it.
Got shot from a cannon.
Charles Lee Ray, notorious serial killer, is shot one night in a toy store. To save himself,
I love playing as him. He's like the one killer I've played as.
He attempts to play the role, blending in, before he is soon sold and gifted to a child named Andy Barclay. After Chucky tells Andy who he really is, Chucky manipulates Andy, trying to take control of his body and leave the doll, but fails repeatedly. One day, Chucky grows close to capturing Andy inside of a good guy factory. He begins the ritual to transfer into Andy, but something else is summoned, a fog. Andy runs into the fog and Chucky follows him. The Unknown is a creature of unknown origin that resided around the town of Greenville, a place filled with darkness due to the presence of an overlap between our world and the entities. Over the years, the Unknown appears to cause disappearances in the town, and it is investigated by the government as well as individuals. Olivia is one of these individuals. In her attempts to identify what it is,
it's a female
the hunter, and just as it's about to snatch her, it's attacked by the entity.
I can never tell.
That'll do it. Thanks and goodbye.
Wow. Well, that was a good explanation of all the killers up till the Unknown. Of course, there are some newer ones which I'll have to wait for an updated version to hear their lore, or I could read into it somewhere else, I'm not too sure. Well, would you look at that? We are here on DVD to finish off the lore, because there aren't any videos out there of people explaining the lore for the newer killers, but we do have bios in the game that I've never taken the time to read. So that's how we're going to finish things off, alright? I also got into my pajamas. Get that fucking light out of here. Ruining it. Look at that beam as well, just glaring. Gotta get a better lighting setup. But I'm in my pajamas. It's night time. The DVD vibes are here in full force. I want to hit ready up so badly. But I am not ready to play. I'm going to learn about the rest of these killers. But I am making some other DVD content after this. Gonna be doing some things that I hate about DVD. Talking about the shit stuff. Anyways, the leak. Right, so the leak. Fucking, the celery. Nah, was it the Leech? I mean, I call him Vecna anyway. So, he is known as the Whispered One. The Lord of the Rotted Tower. And there is that tower. I hate that fucking word, bro. My accent. I'll say it like the rest of yous. Tower. The Lord of the Rotted Tower. There's obviously that map, the Borgo, right? And there's that tower in there, and in the middle. The Master of Secrets. Few dare speak his true name. It's like Voldemort. He's bald as well. For fear that he may hear, or worse. Okay, can't really speak of the name Vecna. I'm actually scared to say it now, but I'm sure he doesn't mind too much. He's reading his book. He's fine. Even as a young wizard, Vecna's command of magic was matched by none. While others spent decades committing to and perfecting one school of magic, he effortlessly mastered each one of them. After his mother's execution for witchcraft, again, the parents die. The parents just always die. Why? His focus became obsession as he studied the darkest school of magic, necromancy, the magic of life and death. Oh God. He got deep into this then. As his power grew, so did his ambition. over the centuries. So is this guy like immortal then? He shed his well, there's that answer. He shed his mortal shell and ascended to Lichdom. His power gave rise to a great empire, ruled over from his rotted tower. This is so sensitive, fuck me. His thirst for dark knowledge to fill his book of vile darkness led him to many realms and planes. But it was in his own realm one of his servants found something, a spell, perhaps torn from an ancient tome, written in a language he had never seen. From it he could sense an incredible dark energy. Without any document of the language, he had to spend months painstakingly analysing its syntax, its phonetics, its form. A lot of words here. He documented every stroke of every letter, scrutinising and theorising on their meanings in a massive book hidden in his chambers. This guy was actually well into the magic, like, wasn't he? That dark magic, Harry Potter style. Again, like, what's with the references? We got Voldemort references and now dark magic references. Where were we then? When his lieutenants came to him with problems in their domain, Vecna, why are you saying his name? Vecna told them to deal with it themselves. He had more important matters to attend to. Man was a solo dolo rising star, seeking revenge for the witchcrafts that killed his mother. The witchcraft haters or whatever. Countless nights were spent memorising the strange script, attempting to make it make sense. Only occasionally would he leave his keep to investigate rumours of people who had disappeared without a trace in the night. As you'll say, in the trace on the side. At the scene, and then at these scenes, he could sense the same foreign magic that emanated from the torn page. He was convinced that whatever was killing these people had also written this strange script. Okay. How many? Oh, jeez. This is like being in an English class back in school. He was confounded, which made him furious. The scenes, few and far between, had no pattern, no common motive, no sign of struggle, no body, and only a lingering hum of dark energy. To what end did they need these bodies? One dark night, he had a breakthrough. A word he had been interpreting as dying made more sense as disappearing. What do you mean by that? Perhaps these people were not being killed at all. Okay. Perhaps they were being taken alive but just disappearing somewhere. The end of the fall. Ooh, DVD Hawkins! He applied this substitution through his notes and everything seemed to fall into place. Oh, here he goes. He's figuring out. He's cracking the code. He copied what he had learned to a fresh piece of parchment written phonetically. He began to speak the words aloud and the room darkened. It filled with a creeping black fog. Oh, it's like when you're standing there looking in the mirror going, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Just come on! Ah! He felt himself displacing, going somewhere else. Vecna resisted, incanting, memorized spells, holding the fog at bay. This is the fog trying to take him. We saw earlier that the fog ends up consuming these killers. Either that or the entity. So the black fog is it. He felt himself displacing, going somewhere else. And that somewhere else is DB Dizzle. The fog. That... Oh, we already read that, did we? No, we didn't. Vecna resisted, instantly memorized spells, holding the fog at bay. But as he gazed into the darkness, he felt that alluring energy from it. A despair, an evil he could scarcely imagine. A sick curiosity overcoming him. He dropped his pants... He dropped his concentration and let the fog take him. He actually lost. They all lose to the fog though, that's the thing. No matter how strong they are. Whatever it was, wherever it was, he understood that the only way to harness it was to submit to it. Had to give in. He's a submissive daddy. I've got to keep my voice down. That is highly embarrassing, actually. He understood the only way to harness it was to submit to it. He knew in his cold, unbeating heart. Unbeating heart? Look at this. You know who's wrote this? They've got to be an English teacher. Just that poetic goodness. There's such a way of words here. So he knew in his cold, unbeating heart that its dark secrets would one day be his. So he thinks one day he's going to get out of this again and finally get the ultimate dark secrets to fulfill his destiny of becoming just an ultimate dark magic person, and then just go on a rampage because he's angry that, you know, his mum got murdered by the witchcraft haters. That's interesting, and that's given me a lot more respect for him. You know, I don't like going against this guy. I've barely played him, but that's actually cool. That's a very cool backstory. Alright, so from then on we only have the Dark Lord and... Well, no, the alien was there before, so... Have I bought anyone that was missed? No, because we did the Knight, Skull Merchant, Singularity. Is this in order of release? Yeah! No, we got them all. Alright. All of them besides the most recent one, which is the Dark Lord. Again, a Voldemort reference. You might as well just stick him in the game at this point. Obviously, we got the Greyhound, or what was it, the Hound? The Ground and Pounder. No, the Hound Master, right? But we'll see the backstory once she actually releases into the game. I don't have a PC. I don't get the PTB. I'm a PS scrub, alright? So we'll just wait and see what she's actually about in her backstory. Should we do Survivors as well? I think we should. Survivor backstories. I'm sure there's some great backstories of what I like to call my team. Because I don't like being on this side. All these killers. Although, again, this video is making me just get more respect for them. But, you know, when I do come across a Bubba or a Clown, it infuriates me. Anyway, so Dark Lord. Right. Bio. Inconsolable grief. Meta... Right, these words are a little bit out of my league. No, it's fine. I actually did well in English. Got the GCSE and all. Inconsolable grief metamorphosed into madness after the death of Dracula's beloved. Okay, so I know he's from Castlevania. I never played those games, never will. They look, well, they look amazing, but I'll just never play them. So I don't know the backstory. I'm sure you guys probably do. So we'll just see. He sought out the fabled Crimson Stone as a way to cheat death. What does that even mean? This is like the Philosopher's Stone, where it makes you immortal. Huh? What is up with these Harry Potter references? No, I know it's not. It's just not Harry Potter related at all. But death trapped his soul inside the stone, granting him eternal life as a vamp. Yo, he's actually doing well for himself then. Getting eternal life and all that. I want a piece of that. Or do I? That's a very deep question for us people out here in the real world. Would you want to live forever? I don't know. I probably would. Like, see everything, you know. See the world go up in flames in 10 billion years when the sun blows up. Where are we? Vlad Tepes Dracula. So his last name is Dracula and his first name is Vlad. Alright, Vlad, what's happening? he was now the Dark Lord. He slept by day and hunted in the Eventide. Okay, so he's got a vitamin D deficiency, which is why he's very, very pale, like myself. Gotta get out in the sun a bit more. But we don't get the sun here in the UK, so it's kind of a problem, but I'm just taking the supplement, so it's all good. I'll get back to my other colour. He slept by day and hunted in the Eventide, seeking out the living and stealing their lifeblood. Stealing their lifeblood? What? Just sucking on their bloods then? Sucking on their willies? Again, very just inappropriate and weird. He built a castle in Romania, shielded with sinister magic, and turned many of the local villagers into the living dead. Okay. Not a very nice person then. I'm struggling to feel bad for him. Dracula's castle became a symbol of terror and despair. Again, you just seem like a bit of an asshole here. His power seemed unassailable, and many perished trying to defeat him as he sowed endless chaos, suffering, and death. Okay, endless chaos, suffering, and death. I mean, he's not getting saved here. I'm not going to feel bad for him at all. In 1476, hundreds of years ago, Trevor Belmont, that's a survivor of the Belmont clan, ended Dracula's reign with the vampire killer. But the undead never stayed dead for long, and Dracula was resurrected more than once over the centuries to continue his quest for revenge. So he kept coming back then. Alright, this Trevor guy cannot really hold him off for too long. Last resurrected in 1999, Dracula raised an army of the undead. Ugh. It took another descendant of the Belmont clan to defeat him, Julius Belmont, in the savage clash known as the Battle of 1999. Julius Belmont took the fight to Dracula's castle and battled the Dark Lord with the same enchanted whip his distant ancestors wielded. Very nice. Most believe Dracula suffered a true death, a final death, but Dracula didn't die that night, as the vampire killer tore the flesh from his bones A strange fog rolled across the ancient stone floor. Dracula felt the icy fingers of something or someone beckoning him. The fog engulfed him and transported him to a place where he could continue his dark vengeance against human. DVD saved this guy! The fog saved this guy. He was finally gonna die, and then the fog comes in and resurrects him, brings him here. So the whole Belmont clan think that he's gone, right? But then Trevor's here in the game as well. He's in the world of DVD as well. Yo, this is so mad. This actually is. So Trevor's here, but like Trevor's buddies from the Belmont clan probably think that he's just away somewhere, or they probably think he's missing. They don't know where he's went, and they think the Dark Lord is no more. But he's here in DVD, taking out Meg Thomas. Fucking hell! She just like doing some PE or something when she got swept away by the fog. I've learned about her a little bit, because that is Meg. Like, I had to read up on her backstory. She was in school, right, and then she's got fucking yeeted. Wow, that was interesting. That is every killer's lore, and I definitely want to look into all the survivors now. So if you want to see that as a video, let me know. But that's it for now. So hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.